Welcome back to Coming This Summer.
Boosh.
J. Bean Martin.
We're here for the finale.
Ryan Superbad.
The
Sharp.
the CTS series finale.
Wow, it's been a great run.
We're canceling it.
Over 100 episodes.
We figured we reached peak cinema with Obi-Wan, so we don't have anything else to review.
That's it. Perfect 10s. We'll see you guys.
No.
So I wasn't in.
You haven't been on for
any
any
of the
Obi-Wan
Obi reviews.
The Obisodes.
The Obisodes.
Yeah, we came in with the first 3 episodes of the series, and then that didn't really perform well on the channel, so we decided to come back for the very end. And also, they killed the release of the show.
Yeah, that's honestly my biggest gripe of the whole thing.
Those first 3 episodes came out in the first week.
They blew it out
of the show within a week.
It's like
of
a
each
bargain
other.
basement show. Why are you blowing it out?
Yeah, it's been a week, and what should have taken 3 weeks, the show's halfway over.
5 days gave us 3 episodes.
The show's halfway over. Yeah, in 5 days. Well, what? And a show that you need to have that time with those characters too, that you desperately needed, because by the end, where he's like,
see, I have a theory.
Okay.
I think because the first 3 episodes were the slowest, most generic, bland, worst written episodes of the entire series.
Out as fast
they
as
literally
they
were
could.
like, blah, there you go. All right, now you get 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
That's almost what it felt like. Getting that crap out of the way, cool. Now check this out.
Yeah, but like by the time we got to 4, I didn't care
You were
about
already
any of
burned
the
out on
characters or anybody. Like in episode 5, a character dies, right? The one chick or whatever, the Jedi underground leader, and she like
Tara or whatever.
Tala, I think. She bites it and is like, well, but I don't care about your character at all. So when she's like dies and Obi-Wan's like,
I care, but my problem is I'm trying to remember what I've seen her in. Every time I watch it, I'm like,
I think her character was in like Clone
superhero
Wars, I think.
or something. I remember her wearing some kind of outfit. I don't know if it's a DC or Marvel or
maybe Star Wars and another thing. Was she in?
I don't know.
Was she Tala in anything else? You're
know.
right. You're absolutely
I feel like
right.
That's all I think of when I watch it.
She was like in The Boys or some trailer. Yeah.
Something.
Some
I never remember to look
huh.
because I get into the show, but then when I see her, I'm like, I thought she was.
She was fine, but like by the time her character dies, I'm like, I don't give a shit.
The second half of the series was
let's
great.
Go.
Though.
Yeah.
5 and 6 especially, but 4 felt you could feel the turn coming, the corner being turned in 4. Like, okay, they're starting to get rid of all
they're trying
the garbage, and then
least.
5 and 6 it was like full throttle. You got an hour and a half combined of just like.
Yeah. No, the end was good payoff for like the whole shit show that the series had.
It did open up way more questions, like why didn't Leia remember Obi-Wan then in episode 4
at
New
all?
Hope, when he's like, you worked for my dad at one point, I think, in the Clone Wars or something. I don't know. Can you help me? I've heard rumors you're great.
I barely remember. What's a Floby John?
Yeah, who are you, Obi guy?
Yeah, right? No, that's
Obi guy Kenobi.
So not. We've been talking about it since it like ended, and we're like, I've been saying that it holds up until A New Hope happens. Yeah, until there's the immediate clash of.
Yeah, a lot of people complain about like, oh, Obi went off world when he's hiding. Like that's a huge. I don't really think that's a big deal because he's a Jedi and he's smooth enough to get in and out of the planet, and that's not really a plot hole.
And he didn't get caught.
Who necessarily? They never said in New Hope that he parked his ass there for 20 years and never moved.
Yeah,
that was never said. I'm serious. I mean, it wasn't. So people get nitpicky about that.
No, they fixed that too because he's like, well, I don't need to watch Luke because Owen's watching Luke.
And the Luke interaction made sense because it's a 5-minute interaction.
Well, they know each other.
Luke bumps his head. He knows that's like our neighbor who's a little weird because my Uncle Owen says he's weird.
Yeah, he's like a nomad basically.
But that's it.
Yeah.
And that still makes sense. There's never like, Obi-Wan saved me. No, we don't have any confusion. But Leia, again, you almost have to redub the hologram. And all the changes George Lucas originally made that pissed everybody off, and I was like, why are you adding stupid things? This is a change I would not be mad.
No.
If they went back in and re-hologrammed it with some CGI, and she was like, Obi, can you help me like you did before?
Help me like you did before.
I would absolutely be okay with that because now everything would be okay and fixed now.
Yeah, I'd be like,
and you gave me like, okay.
Oh, Leia was good in that show.
Right? Then you'd be like, everything and that's okay because Lucas made that a good 40, 50 years ago.
But when you take Leia on her character-defining adventure, you're going to remember the dude who took you on that adventure.
That's my biggest problem.
Like, you were going to die.
That's my biggest problem with the show.
Right.
Because honestly, she ended up being pretty endearing.
The whole reason Leia is because of this adventure. Yeah.
And as weak as she was in like the first episode, she actually became pretty endearing and actually slammed it home towards the end of the thing. When she's getting interrogated by Reva, I thought she nailed that scene in it was episode 4 or whatever. like before they escape to go off to
Sure.
I thought she was. I see why they cast her by the end
Okay.
of the series. I can see why they cast her.
They could have cast any 10.
But I think, compared to Luke, the kid they cast as Luke, I thought was
he's ginger.
it was generic. I don't know.
You can CGI him, make him look a little more like Mark Hamill,
I don't
because
know.
you can do that with computers.
They nailed the Leia casting
Right.
and not the Luke casting.
Right.
So that was weird.
Yeah, Luke. Are you though? But like, are you though? You're like another kid Owen had, like before he got Luke, right?
He's like, I am his father.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're his uncle. Like, I get it. I get the whole, like, I know what you're trying to do, but, like, it's like,
Oh my god.
you're as much his dad as Obi-Wan is. Like, Obi-Wan was there for the birth. In fact, Obi-Wan pulled him
Delivered
out.
the child.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But he used his
I mean,
hands
like,
instead of
easy
the force,
buddy.
so that's kind of.
Or did he just use the Force? So, like,
No, he wanted to get in there.
can we talk about the lightsaber, the battle that
Yes.
they get?
Yes, the best choreographed fucking lightsaber fight
It's amazing.
ever.
And they finally
Ever.
figured out how to, like, everyone's always like, oh, these lightsaber battles suck because Darth Vader can barely move. So they finally gave him, like, that. I can just stop your blade.
Yeah.
I don't need to be
He's like,
quick.
that's
I
his
can
move
just
now.
Stop
he like
it.
stops.
Yeah, like you're not
the
going to strike me with the
lightsaber, bro.
blade.
Yeah,
Who are
no.
you?
There's a part where he does it to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And then like Obi-Wan like flips it over and like counters it, and I'm like, oh my god, because he trained him.
But they show you the flashbacks,
Yeah.
and they basically show you in the flashback Vader or
Like-
Anakin. You never learn.
Yeah.
You never listen to me, and you never learn, which is why
That's
you're
why
still
Obi-Wan
a Padawan.
wins. Yeah.
And then at the
He
end,
literally
he's
uses that.
making all the mistakes still, which is why he never can win.
Well, okay,
which I loved.
It's strong because Obi-Wan's like the only one who can fight him because
He trained.
he
him.
trained him. Yeah.
And Obi-Wan is
so-
supposed to be one of the most powerful Jedis
Right.
of all time. On top of that,
Right.
Like
especially
just
now,
underneath
especially
Vader.
now after the prequel.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he's training in like
exactly.
the prequel still, but now he's like.
And if you're
as strong as
5%
Yoda or whatever.
weaker
Yeah.
than Anakin, but you're smarter.
Well, he's strong enough
then-
to see like Force Ghosts now.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So yeah.
But even if you're a little weaker, he's got the knowledge
Yeah.
to beat him.
Right.
Like you might be a little stronger, but I'm smarter than you.
He's
so I'm
just
gonna
gonna
beat you
piss him
every
off,
time.
and then like
Yeah.
he's gonna win.
He's gonna win every time.
Yeah.
Which I thought was amazing.
He starts
'cause
to
he
hurling
loses his mind.
rocks
He
at
has to,
him.
yeah, he has to like pull back at it's again another show or movie
He,
that
like,
makes me
cuts his
go.
mask.
I need Dragon Ball.
The part where he's
Z."
talking. Yeah, I know.
With the rock scene. I mean, I'm
know.
like, oh.
If you like daytime that up a bit, that
Just
would be the perfect location for
Vegeta's hurling.
a Goku and
stones
Vegeta
at
fight.
Goku.
Like, yeah, I know. I thought about that the whole time.
I rate
Somebody
every
needs to
time.
rotoscope,
Be Dragon Ball.
them out and put Goku and Vegeta in
We need
that
it.
fight. Yeah, even with lightsabers still.
Put the 2D them in the 3D.
Oh, that'd be dope. That would be very cool.
It was good. Like I said, honestly, it was all worth.
I like when he's talking.
Yeah, and he cuts him
and he
off.
has it's like half his face. It's almost like a Two-Face,
It is
like Batman.
because you can
villain
tell
kinda deal.
it's Hayden Christensen too. Like he's like
you can.
Obi-Wan.
That's our other problem with it. Is like he didn't really need to be.
He did. That's the only time they got him for.
He was in the show for maybe 5 minutes. You could have spent probably the money you paid him
I don't think
in
they paid him a lot,
tech
though.
team. Well, I'm just saying it doesn't cost a lot to deepfake a 5-minute scene with Hayden Christensen.
I figured,
you
but
know?
they did that to make the fans happy because most
No, they
fans
did, and
agree
it
now
was
that
fine.
he got screwed.
Well,
It used to be he
my
sucked.
problem is I
Now
wanted
it's-
more of him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
He's
right.
not as bad as an actor as everybody likes
No.
to make him out to be. He had bad lines, and I don't know.
I feel like when they meet on the planet, like their dialogue back and forth is like right out of Revenge of the Sith. They're like, how do we
it picks,
escalate
like,
that scene?
right up. Like
yeah.
you left me to die.
Literally.
It's like, I kind of did, and you're kind of alive, and maybe I should have killed you, and then he still can't do it.
Yeah.
Like honestly, they kind of show you that Obi-Wan's still too selfish to do it himself. Like he can't finish the
He's
job.
like wheezing, like literally.
Like
he's
he could put him
dead.
out of his misery. There would be no need for episode 4, 5, and 6 because Vader'd be gone. The Empire would crumble.
That's the other problem. Is like in a
Which I-
show where you do this, it's like there's no stakes for anything.
No.
It's like I know Obi-Wan doesn't die. I know Darth Vader doesn't
I know
die.
Luke doesn't
I
die.
know
We know
Luke
Leia
doesn't
doesn't
die. I know Leia doesn't die.
No, but it was cool to
Like,
see the decisions made
fine.
that cast
Okay.
the original trilogy. If they don't chase Obi-Wan and they kill the beginning of the rebellion, it's over.
It's over.
If he
Yeah.
chooses to actually do what he should as a Jedi and to end Vader, the Empire's over.
4, 5,
But
and 6
both
don't
of them
happen.
can't do the right thing because they're both too selfish. It was
because
kind
4,
of
5,
cool.
and 6 have to happen.
Well, obviously,
though.
but I
Yeah.
mean, like
they disguised it well.
they see
Yeah.
like this is why it happened. They were both too.
They disguised that well,
selfish.
but they didn't disguise the Luke thing well, where the third sister Reva is like not dead and like going to Tatooine to like murder
I think
Luke
it makes
Skywalker.
sense though.
No, it does
At
because
the
like
end,
she's like, this is Darth Vader's kid.
and I'm going to do what
That
he did
dude's
to
gonna
all of
be
us.
probably
another
super
Vader.
evil.
Yeah.
So I get it, but it's like
But
they
not
didn't.
killing her makes sense because it's almost like I think Obi-Wan would not have been enough, or at least been able to watch Luke enough to make sure nothing happens. And to say that there's like almost like second guardian angel that was on the planet now, because she would take the opposite role. Now, like, what have I done? I've got to like
Redeem.
pay for my sins.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the kid too.
Okay.
That actually honestly kind of makes sense. You never have to see her again. You just kind of assume that she's one of the background characters you see at episode 4.
Hung out on
kind of hanging out
sure.
on Tatooine.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I just think it was too clunky to get her there. The end was cool with her, but it was too clunky to get her
I become
there.
him?
Yeah, I didn't need that line. Am I becoming him? Will I become him?
Yeah, what will become
that
of me?
One, am I
Anything.
to will I?
Anything
and the whole
other than
thing's
the line
fixed.
she said.
Yeah.
And the delivery.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But honestly,
Am I?
that's the weakest part of the last
When
two
I
episodes.
eat, do I not, for I
know.
not stomach?
I don't think that's on her. I don't think you can put that on her. Like, you can't put Hayden's "I hate sand" line on him. Like, you only have so much to work with.
There's a lot
if
in
someone
delivery,
hands you
though.
a butter knife and a spork to eat a sirloin steak, you only got, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm gonna do what I can do.
But delivery is half the battle. Like,
It
writing
is.
could be bad, yeah, because it was bad.
But you can't deliver on certain.
That's true.
How am I deliver? But like, I didn't kill him. How you
Yeah,
just deliver the
that
line?
makes no sense.
But I can't.
That makes no sense.
Like, you want me to like get into detail on how much I hate sand? Yeah, really like
Yeah, make
drive that point home.
Make us hate
I don't like
sand. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
overall, I think episode 5 and 6 though, as far on a Star Wars scale, or about as Star Wars as you can get, like a 9.
It was
plus.
like Duel of Fates. Like
you want
Mustafar
Star Wars,
battle.
you want Revenge of the Sith, you
Yeah.
want like the good part of the trilogy. That's all episode 5 and 6 basically
Episode
was.
1 and 2 is like Phantom Menace.
It was.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, 1 and 2,
Yeah.
3 and 4 were
like,
very
Attack of the
like
Clones, like
you're
kind of
just
middle of the road. It just
you're not-
happens.
You're
And 5 and
plotting
6 was
along.
definitely
Just-
like maybe that's how they broke it up. You know what I mean?
I am working on a little project, a little fan project
are.
with the episodes.
That's 4 hours long.
It got longer. I had to do a little recutting.
You got to cut it down.
I'm gonna have to.
I need
but
like a
here's the
2-hour cut.
Here's the
of
problem.
that movie.
Here's the problem. Even the garbagey plot.
I could
episodes,
rip that show apart.
It's the problem. Okay, here's the problem. They throw
Everything.
extremely important plot points in the middle of a 10-minute plot along garbage part, and you're like, I need to cut this, but if I cut it, it's gonna be like, why did you flash here for 9
you
seconds
don't get all the
to flash
exposition.
back? Yeah, you're like, God damn it. And so I'm working on it, because, and then I'm like, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna just break it into 2 parts, like a 2-movie, like a break apart, but the middle doesn't make
What's the episode with Seth Rogen?
goddamn. That's the
Third? Yeah.
3rd, I believe.
Okay. You don't need that whole first half of the episode. You can cut all that transport garbage out. Pretty much. With Seth
You can cut a
Rogen.
good chunk of that.
You can cut all of it. You can cut all of it.
There's pretty good
Back and forth with Leia.
suspense there for are they gonna have to run or fight them while they more and more.
There's also really good
stormtroopers
dialogue
load up.
about like Obi-Wan knowing Leia's
That's true.
mother, like Padme.
See what I'm saying
Yeah.
again? You got like good scenes shoved in the middle of nothing. So it's like if I cut this off, it's gonna look really weird jammed in here. I'm working on it. I'm gonna get there. I tried to break it in half and just go, we'll just do 2-part. It doesn't work either. Because you have it's in the middle cut is almost perfect is the end of episode 3, but the cliffhanger of episode 3 is garbage.
They just get away.
It's just like
Reva,
Vader in the
Reva
tank
finds
in the it's like
that's episode 1, where it shows him in the Darth Vader shows up in episode 3, and then like Leia goes underneath and like ends up with the third sister.
Yeah,
at the
but then
end.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I can't remember. Maybe it's 2. I'm
was
like
all
2
bad.
hours. There's so much. There's so much. I was like rewatching so much last
Just
night.
make
trying
the
to figure it out.
beginning and then make the end, and then like
See,
fill in
having
the blanks.
having Leia be there screws everything up. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could do first episode. The problem is
Can you cut Leia
2,
out?
3, and 4.
You
No,
could probably cut Leia out. You
the only
probably
reason
could.
he leaves planet is Leia, though. So there's almost no reason for him to go do the whole Vader without leaving the planet. So what you need to do is you need to take episode 2, 3, and 4 and condense that hour and a half into like
You can cut
into
most
like
of episode
45
1,
minutes.
like all
out.
the setup garbage.
that actually is okay if you can gut the middle, because it's a lot of like nostalgia stuff that is actually pretty cool. A lot of the long draws and scene shots are pretty cool.
Episode 1 and 2 waste a lot of time.
That's what I'm saying. You can keep one intact, but you take 2, 3, and 4 and you turn that into one episode's worth of content, because then you have a nice long intro.
I see what you're saying. So you
move the
one.
plot quick, and then you get to all the 5 and 6 stuff. That's what you need. You need to make 2, 3, and 4 one episode. Then so you have 1, 2,
That's what I'm saying.
3, and 4.
So cut like an end, cut a beginning, and then just merge 2, 3,
It's
and 4
hard. That's what I'm saying. I'm working on the Leia stuff now. We're
Gross.
getting on a sidetrack. So overall, honestly, I like it. I think it ended up saving itself. It definitely finished stronger than it. Bless you. I guess the studio sneezing.
It was better than any of the new trilogy. By far.
Oh God, yes.
By 10,000
yeah.
billion miles.
I mean, it wasn't Mandalorian
by
good,
12 parsecs.
but I'm gonna continue to
No.
pretend the new trilogy doesn't exist, and we have prequel stuff all the way out to Mandalorian.
Mandalorian didn't have a job to do.
No, there was no expectations.
They didn't have a job to
No.
do. This show,
Okay, I will say that.
This show made up jobs for it to do. Like, we got to retcon the Leia stuff. We got to do Darth Vader
Right.
stuff. We got to have Obi-Wan. Luke's got to be their second sister. We got to do Inquisitors. Like, whoa. This is called Obi-Wan.
Right.
Maybe focus a little more on that.
I was going to
know?
say, for the expectations that they set, it did deliver a lot, which I'm shocked, because normally we had a lot of expectations for the sequel trilogy, and they did not deliver. So for setting up like a Obi-Wan show and bringing Hayden Christensen back and doing all these things,
But do you want
they
stuff
counted
after
where it
this,
needed
though?
to.
Do you want, like...
No. As much as I'm normally that nerd that wants more and more and more, I think it ended.
I'm not even talking about like an Obi-Wan
perfectly.
season 2, but even like a Darth Vader show.
No,
or
I
an Anakin show. Nothing. I don't want anything.
I'm okay
after.
with them doing the setup to the Rogue One movie.
Andor, yeah.
I'm okay with
but
that
he's
because
just good
I
in it.
loved those characters, and I would take a couple more hours with those characters because they were awesome, and they sacrificed everything.
Well, there's more of a
So,
story.
that's what I'm saying.
there. They were
That
like
I'm fine
already
with.
established characters that we had just met in that movie, and it's like,
See-
well, how did they get there?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Dope.
So I'm
Fine.
That,
Yeah.
but outside of that, you're right. I don't need anything else. I think we're all wrapped up now. I think no more.
If anything, you go before Phantom Menace.
Before Phantom Menace and continue with the Mandalorian and wrap
you
all
do
that
like
stuff up.
Darth Sidious training Dooku or fucking, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just like you could do anything, literally anything.
I just
Like,
don't want any more sequel trilogy crap.
No, I
And
think they're done.
I think I'm praying Taka does something from that era, but it sounds like they're going to do something around the sequel trilogy timeline, but without any of that garbage. So
it's
he's our
a
only
good
hope.
spot.
Help me.
It's a good spot.
Wati.
The problem with Force Awakens, we're just like in Star Wars talk now. I'm fine with
Right.
that. The problem with Force Awakens is it's a really good spot to pick the start of a new trilogy because it's like 20
Yeah.
years after the
And
Rebels
I'm fine with
won.
that.
No, it's like it's really good
But you
storytelling to
can't-
put a
but they
story
destroy
there. But they destroyed
everything.
It. That's what I'm saying. So if like Taika kind of goes like, well, let's go right before that. You know what I mean?
I'm fine with that.
And now we're going like.
I think Disney should. I get it. You got all these
like
characters.
it's after.
Rey,
It's still after.
and you're selling all
episode
of this
6
Right.
or whatever. Yeah.
right? But
Or,
who? But
yeah.
no, you're right.
Yeah.
6, yeah. But who wants that? Who? I mean, I'm not kidding. Like they fudged, they destroyed. There's no reason for an Anakin redemption arc, which is the whole reason the whole thing exists. If we're being honest, the original trilogy was about redeeming someone that they thought was unredeemable.
Right, because at the end, Return of the Jedi,
He
kills
ends up
the
going
Emperor.
like, "Damn, I am redeemable." That's the whole point. And then the prequels expand on why he got to the point where everybody thought he was irredeemable. So that all makes sense. But the sequel trilogy is like, it doesn't mean anything. Everything Luke learned, everything that he did, all that stuff was garbage. We're still going to worship Darth Vader, even though he proved to the dark side that he wasn't bad, but we're going to worship him anyway. Luke, who wouldn't give up on his dad,
wait a minute.
he gives up on his nephew immediately because of a bad dream, even though he would listen to Yoda, he would listen to Obi-Wan,
Okay,
he would listen to Force Ghost.
The
telling
problem
him,
is the third sister doing what she does in the Obi-Wan show is way more justified than Luke fucking
Yeah.
trying to kill Kylo.
right, because
Yeah.
she literally almost died, had to pretend to be dead as a youngling, and had watched her friends and family butchered.
She didn't show up and is like, I'm going to train you, Luke. And then it's like, well, I must kill you because you're
Right.
Spawn, like evil Spawn, you
It's-
know?
They
What?
destroyed it. That's what I mean.
What?
Like nothing makes sense in the
But then he's
sequel
good
trilogy.
at the end.
Yeah. Because of course he is. Because why would Luke have killed him? Because just like Darth, he would have. He had good in him. So you can always, if he has any good in him, you can always turn him. That was kind of like the point of the movie. Is like
Let's completely ruin Luke's character.
Luke, Darth, all of them destroyed.
Yeah.
Hey, all that stuff Han learned throughout the trilogy about being like a decent
He's still
person
an
and being a
asshole.
family person and like coming there to act. No, he's gonna end up
He
fleeing
left
his
for
family,
he left
leaving
for
his
space
son.
cigarettes and never came back.
came back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Screw the sequel. They ruined it.
Yeah.
They ruined it.
Force Awakens is the best out of them.
Out of them, but that's still not good when you really start thinking about the things
but it's
they did.
It's A New Hope, though.
And then they doubled down though with the second one after that, episode 8.
Yeah.
They doubled down.
The way Force Awakens ended, where like Finn's like got the lightsaber and he's like kind of fighting.
Because he's clearly force sensitive, but then they're like, you know what? Let's do Casino Royale in space.
Because he's fighting a dude that was trained by Darth Sidious and Luke Skywalker, and yet he's still holding his own.
And he can last at least for 30 seconds.
And he was a stormtrooper.
But no, man.
But that doesn't go.
Casino Royale in space.
Yeah. But then he goes to a casino with an Asian chick that we just threw in there. Not Oscar Isaac, which would have been dope. Imagine them broing down on a fucking casino planet.
Because they already hinted that he was forced. So I'm saying they set up all these little plot threads and they did nothing with them. I don't want to go there. We're going to spend 4 hours talking about it. So again, if you're, I mean, it did Star Wars justice, and I think it was better again than the movies have been lately. Like,
it brought me back in the end.
It did.
Sure.
I felt good.
Yep.
I want to go watch the prequels now because I'm like, cool, man.
I watched Rogue One right after. Yeah.
Or Rogue One after. That's why I'm cool with the Andor show.
Technically, it's Obi-Wan Solo, Rogue One, Episode 4, but I don't count Solo at all, so I skipped it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go watch fucking Rogue One.
Make a super cut of Solo and Obi-Wan.
Solo's okay.
I gotta watch it. That's one I haven't watched.
It's just because the cast is good. It's got like Emilia Clarke, Woody Harrelson, like
we
Paul
need to
Bettany.
do a new thing on the Jon Snow stuff. Speaking of Emilia Clarke,
we do.
Like, subscribe, all that stuff. We rambled way too long, so
yeah, that turned into just a Star Wars podcast. You got to say, "May the Force be with you."
Yeah, that.